Are rich people really trying to hide the keys to their financial success? Business Questions Answered Here, episode number 37. This is Business Questions Answered Here. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne, an independent business strategist with over 20 years of experience using that experience and knowledge to hopefully answer some of your questions and save you some of the pain and hassle that I personally had to suffer. My business life has been filled with plenty of wins, even more losses, and the realization that knowledge is power, and I'm allowing you to gain some of your own power by transferring knowledge I personally learned myself, plus input from other veteran business people. For information on how you can get your business questions showcased on this podcast or about any of the business services my company offers, visit the website businessquestionsansweredhere.com. This episode is sponsored by Blinkist. More on the sponsor in a moment, but first, today's question. And today's question actually comes from me, or technically an article that was produced today in Motley Fool. It's the day as it's being produced. I am publishing this, so it will be a few days by the time it actually goes out live on the internet, if you call it live that way. But the title of the article, at least from I pulled it, and once they go online, they go to different places. The title of the article was 4 Financial Secrets Rich People Don't Want You to Know. It was published by Kaylee Freilich from the Motley Fool, and it was all over the place on Wednesday, the 20th of March, when it was published early today. And it turned into a lot of different commentary and articles written about it all day on Wednesday. So this is a question that I thought would be a great one to tackle for today. And the question from myself, as I put in the tease, is, are there really sets of financial secrets that rich people don't want you to know to keep you from being rich? And the very quick answer to this, one time I can actually say the sort of quick answer to this is no. There aren't really any financial secrets that rich people are keeping from you. In fact, these aren't even secrets per se. There are more or less common knowledge. If you spend more than 5 minutes searching for information on financial success, for lack of a better way to put it, this is common things that you will see coming over and over and over again. It's just like any other maxim that you hear. If you hear enough times, you believe that it's true because enough people are saying it. And then when you dig deep into it, you can find out whether or not it is truly true, whether it's partially true, or if it's something that people sort of say. Now, when you're dealing with these financial secrets, these are 4 things that supposedly rich people don't want you to know because it's going to hold you back to keep you down. And it's not so much that it's a secret, but it's really these are things that the wealthy people do that are often not done by people who aren't wealthy. They just don't seem to think about it. They don't seem to come to mind. So don't think of these as something that the rich folks are using to really hold people down. These are just things they do, maybe not even naturally, things they have learned over time that make things work out for them. And it has nothing to do with the right investment or the right stock market person or hitting the right guy working things. There are just 4 basic tenets from this story. I'm going to read them to you and then go through how they actually can be adjusted for whatever you're doing. Tenet number 1 is that your money should be working for you, not the other way around. Tenet number 2 is keeping up with the Joneses will cost you every time. Tenet number 3 is time is your most valuable currency. And tenet number 4 is it's best not to go it alone. So we're going to take these things piece by piece, one by one, but those are the 4 secrets per se from the article. And if you're a follower of the Motley Fool, you'll know that they sort of put a twist on the way things are put, which is how they got to be a popular site for money and money management anyway. But let's start with the conventional wisdom of number 1, your money should be working for you, not the other way around. Which is basically saying the magic of passive income, making ways that what you put in as an investment or put in as a way to work on something else will bring money back towards you that you can use for right now and, of course, for later on. So all your major investments, think of your 401k, think of your retirement fund, your pension, things that get put away and get turned into more money. In theory, we have issues with that right now, but the money you put away that turns into more money you can use later is an investment. That's your money working for you. That's the money that you put aside right now to do its own thing, and then when it comes back, you have more money to do stuff with. Same thing for regular investments such as stocks or bonds or whatever. The money you put into those markets are not there to be played with. They're there so that they can turn around a profit, turn around a dividend, generate some future revenue, or at least grow on their own so that when it's time it is to cash these things out, they're worth more now than they were back then, so you get more money in return. It's the same thing about investing in real estate or investing in your house or investing in a person, if you will, investing in a real hard line business or something online. The money that you put into your thing should come back to you in passive income. That is, you don't have to go out there and work extra hours to make it work. Now, if you're going out there and doing something that's going to bring in a large amount of money, if you work some sort of job where the multiples of pay are very large, then the more you work, obviously the more you'll get paid for that, and you don't have to work as much to be paid as much. It's the difference between a minimum wage worker and a person who's on a $1,000 retainer. Whatever you're doing comes back to you on a big end, and then you have more money to put away for the passive income. But that is the importance of getting into stocks or mutual funds or real estate or whatever you want to invest in. Maybe you're investing in some sort of startup and you think it's going to blow up and it's going to come back in big dividends on the back end. That's fine, but you get more money when you don't have to work for it as opposed to when you're working and spending time. And we'll get back to that, of course, in a moment. The second tenet is based on keeping up with the Joneses, and this should be a very simple, really easy thing to do. But because we are humans, something I get into very often in my actual coaching talk, because we're humans, we don't do the simple things when we should, and that is pretty much all the time. You'll get past a lot of things by just sticking to the simple tenets. This one is really simple. When you are having a competition with someone else and someone else's money and expenditures, you will find you will lose this race. You'll lose this game every single time. It will cost you more money than it should. You should be focusing on your needs and your wants, and whatever it is in your budget, your needs and wants can come down to. Because a want is something that is something on top of a need. The rent is a need. A vacation is a want. You may need some time off, but going to Cancun is a want as opposed to just taking some days off and spending time in your local municipality, just sticking around the house. So making sure you're not looking across the street, looking over the fence, looking at whatever people have and thinking you should have that because they have it, not because you necessarily want it, not because you need it, not because you can afford it easily and just not think about it, but because other people have the appearance of success. You must have the same appearance of success. You must upgrade your car more often because they're upgrading their car fairly often. You must buy more toys because they have plenty of toys. You must go on big vacations because they do big vacations. You must go out to eat a lot because they're always out showing off eating a lot. Keeping up with the Joneses, trying to maintain the appearances of the neighborhood is going to cost you more money than you think and more money than you need, because you'll find out that a lot of these things that you're doing to keep up with, you don't necessarily even like. You don't even like the Joneses. Joneses are kind of jerks. But because you feel like you need to look like them, you'll put in extra effort to try to keep up with them. And it will cost you more money than you really need to spend. And once you realize what you actually need and how far your wants actually go, you can find that all that extra money can get put away and can grow for you. Let's move on to tenet number 3, where time is your most valuable currency. And you'll notice in these 4 things, they basically all circle back around to being a part of each other. They're not necessarily single things if you want to take a hive mind of that. They are things that sort of roll in together as a basic tenet with 4 little kind of fingers from it. Your time is your most valuable currency. As we already said, you should have your money working for you, not you working for your money. That means you spending your time, your effort, doing as much labor. Maybe you love the labor, but you want to do as little labor as possible to earn back your money or earn your money in the first place. So the time you have is a valuable currency. And that means in this era of trying to have your passive income work, the sooner you get into the game, the quicker you can start making money and the more money you can make overall. So the really simple analogy is investing. If you start investing so much money at the age of 21, you will have a bigger chunk of money at the age of 45 than if you start investing at 30. And you can see the difference. If you're looking to get into your retirement and looking to add on to something that's supposed to gain an asset, the earlier you get into it, the better. Now, I attempted this fairly early on in my life, and while my investments did not grow quite as great as they should have because of just the way things got played around, one thing I learned was I got in very early on the idea of getting a great rate on my life insurance. So while life insurance may not be all that exciting, I was able to lock in some great rates for life insurance and ability to just add on to that at certain intervals. And now that I'm a little older and my health is a little weirder, I'm able to lock in the ability to add on to my coverage for a whole lot less than if I started right now. So literally a decade before I began thinking about starting family, someone convinced me to buy some very cheap life insurance. And as I started working the family, it turned into a great way to make sure my family is taken care of. One of the few things that I know I've done very well off the get-go from my business, because trust me, I've messed up a lot of things over and over again and watched myself do it over and over again, is set up the insurance policies from way before they're needed. Insurance policies they're a necessity. You may not want to spend the extra money, but there's that. Now, if you're young enough, you can invest your money into something and have it grow over time, because as time happens and when markets crash and you lose money, you have extra time to make that money back. If you get in late in the game and the market turns around and you're out of money when you need it, then you're out of money when you need it. So the earlier you get into the game of saving, investing, putting things away, the more money you will gain. Along the same lines, the more money you are getting from what you're putting into, as in your little time, is important. So make sure that whatever you're doing for employment or side hustle or whatever you're doing for those levels are paying off in a way that means something. Make sure that your time is worth it. They're not paying you something that is not worth your time and effort and experience unless it's something you thoroughly enjoy. And sometimes you're just doing it for the charity of giving it up to people who can use your services, or you just have the free time and want to do it. You can do anything you want for free, assuming that everything else is taken care of. And the fourth tenet is it's best not to go it alone. This is the most difficult for many of us because we are humans, I've already said. So in the money sense, doing your finances, taking care of your money, taking care of what's going on for your personal or your business finances is something that people get paid a lot of money to do because they are very good at keeping the people who make a lot of money out of trouble. One of the things that I have personally fought over and over and over again, and the reasons why are ridiculous, is getting help with my accounting. Because I think I can do it. It's fairly simple. I see my books every single day. I see what comes in and out of my account. So why can't I do my accounting? Well, it's very simple. If someone else is doing your accounting and doing it for a cost that's very efficient because they're spreading their time across a bunch of different people's accountants, so they don't have to charge a lot of money, they just charge everyone a smaller amount, then you can save that money and time in doing something else that's going to make your life better or make you more money. Having advisors to help you work through ideas is better than doing it alone, even if it's as simple as having a mastermind of folks or accountability partner just go over things informally. That helps out as well. Now remember, in the money sense, this is all about fees. So how much you're paying into the actions of the other person is going to help you out because they should actually pay off. If you're paying for advising on money, on business, on time, and you're not getting it, then you are more than free to find someone else to provide that service because there are plenty of other people who will do it, probably some for a little less than what you're paying, and because they are wanting to get a good effort, probably give much better effort in the process. A very overdone example is personal fitness. And if you want to get in better shape, you get some help. You don't just go to the gym and hope that walking around the building will help you out. You get a personal trainer. You pay some person to walk around with you, go over the exercises, help you go through the exercises, hold you accountable, and maybe even go through your nutrition and your other needs, maybe your time sense, making sure that you are actually scheduling proper amount of times for workouts and rest and eating on proper intervals and eating the right things. Those people will give you a very quick and a very simple result from what you're doing. And sometimes they don't work out. It might be personality, it might be the plan they have going on. It could be anything. But that's a very simple thing where you can see the money you're spending going to a person telling you what to do. And if maybe you're not doing it or you're doing it properly and things aren't working, you can easily find another personal trainer. Those are 4 tenets that rich people are not holding back from you. They're not really secrets, but they're just some general things that rich people do or people with wealth do that help them out that normal people may not have thought of. And it's silly because these are things that you'll come across in financial counseling or just general business work just as basic tenets. So a lot of these things, just because we are human and we are stubborn, we just don't necessarily do very well. First one, of course, is your money should be working for you, not the other way around. Second one is keeping up with the Joneses will cost you every time. The third one is time is your most valuable currency. The fourth is it's best not to go it alone. Once again, this is published in The Motley Fool, which is a publication that works with a partner of USA Today. Published and written by a probably very nice person, Kaylee Froelich, for The Motley Fool, and published on March the 20th, 2019. And on that day, it generated a lot of buzz and a lot of responses. And so we're going to record this for the release of this episode, which will originally come out on March the 21st, 2019. So we're getting our work in a day ahead of time. So we figured this would be the best topic to put in there and make it a interesting question asked basically by me this week. So I don't have to get in contact with myself to try to get back on track for this episode. This is just information I'm giving out here. So there's no reason to keep in touch with what's going on and make sure that everything was well. So I'm thanking myself for my own question. It's kind of silly and updates aren't going to happen. But I want to thank all you listeners for tuning into this week's episode and allowing me to ask myself the question and kind of go over this article. Very interesting. Look it up for yourself to read more tenets of it, but you've got the gist of what's going on. This week's episode was sponsored by Blinkist. And Blinkist is a great app or great website based on how you want to use it. Another secret to being successful that's not a big secret is reading. You'll see plenty of professional people who say reading is the key to making them a better person. They read plenty of things. They read multiple newspapers a day. They read plenty of books every week. And somehow they find a way to do these things while running a very successful business, sometimes on the billion-dollar level. I have had my issues with being successful in business, and I've had issues with reading in time, mostly because I'm doing a lot of things. And so Blinkist is an app or the website based on how you want to use it that you can use to get more reading in. And it's very simple. Blinkist has the biggest variety of new personal development and nonfiction books out there. And you can consume them in 15 minutes. Literally a full book in 15 minutes. And you can do it either via audio. If you are doing something else, so you want to have a book in the background, you can take it there as well. Or you can read the written transcripts from what they call blinks. Each chapter essentially is broken out into a thought, a blink. And you can listen to the blinks, or you can read the blinks, or do them both. It's a great way to get caught up on all the great books that everyone's talking about, and you get the big points to all of the issues. In fact, there have been plenty of books that I've went and actually purchased from various places and then found out it popped up on the Blinkist app within weeks of it being released, and have checked out the Blinkist version and then hadn't really finished the full version because it's just that good. We have a great deal for you to try the app for free by just going to our website, businessquestionsanswershere.com/Blinkist, and that's spelled BLINKLIST. businessquestionsanswershere.com/Blinkist. And you can visit any of our sponsors, and we appreciate all the sponsors and you supporting us by visiting the sponsors. But this week's special spotlight is on Blinkist, the app, or you can use it via the web as well, where you can listen to or read books in blinks, and you too can say you read multiple books a week by using this app. Check it out. We have a great deal via our website. So visit us at businessquestionsanswershere.com/Blinkist for a great deal on this app, Blinkist. So since this week we set this thing up on a totally different way, we're going to ask you the question in a different way. It'll be multiple choice. We're going to do a survey essentially on which of these 4 tips that the business people use, or I should say secrets they may be hiding from you, is the one that you're dealing the most with, one that you have the most problem with. Are you having a problem with your money not working for you? Are you having problems trying to keep up with the Joneses? Is your deal making sure that your time is actually being used as its most valuable currency? Or do you have problems going it alone, or not going alone to be exact, because you want to go it alone? Which of these 4 things are actually your biggest problems? You can go to the website and visit the link for this week's episode. And you can find that, of course, at businessquestionsansweredhere.com/037. 037 for the episode number 37. The question, of course, is multiple choice, but you can go ahead and answer in the comments with full replies if you want to, or email us at businessquestionsansweredhere@gmail.com. You can help us grow and maintain the podcast by visiting our sponsors and, of course, stopping by the webpage and giving us more information about what we can do for you. You have information there at the website for the podcast, an archive of past episodes, and subscription information, and the way to submit your question for review. And we'll get in there soon. We'll be back to more actual questions from the listeners next week. So once again, I am Jay Cleveland Payne. I'm eagerly awaiting your business question to answer here.